Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Andhika Rajendra. I want to explain about the relationship between self-efficacy and anxiety when doing public speaking to student in Yogyakarta. Slide 1 is abstract. This abstract contains several brief explanations about communication and the relationship between self-efficacy and anxiety in public speaking. Introduction. Many universities that not only prioritize academic, but also non-academic abilities are also starting to be honed. Especially with the time, students are required to think critically and advance in all things. Public speaking itself is not important thing for everyone, especially students. Panic must be felt by one people who are not used to communication in front of many people. Easy but difficult. That's what something become a challenge in itself to avoid anxiety when in public. There are several research studies such a relationship between self-efficacy and public speaking anxiety in students at Yogyakarta. The study have similarity with me for this research. This research was conducted to describe 1. Definition of self-efficacy, 2. Definition of anxiety, and 3. Framework for thinking. Especially, we were interested to the following 4 questions that got our research. The first, what is the relationship between self-efficacy and public speaking? And 2, how do students face challenges on anxiety in public speaking? And 3, what is definition about self-efficacy and anxiety? Okay, next, literature review. There are 3 meanings here starting from the first. Is definition of self-efficacy. Bandura Warsito 2004 said that self-efficacy in an individual belief that he is able to do something in a certain situation and in the certain situation successfully. This causes individual to think and behave and have a sense of being able to control the social environment. 2. Definition of anxiety. Definition the term anxiety as a subject experience of mental tension, difficulty, and pressure that accompany conflict of threat. Anxiety in psychology of defined as a feeling, a mixture of fear and concern about the future without a specific cause of the fear and is individual. And 3. Framework. Public speaking anxiety the course to the student of the university in Yogyakarta when the lecturer is approaching the presentation. The heart is pounding when he went to speak in public, accompanied by sweating, difficult sleeping before making a presentation, being and afraid of something, and anxious about a question or answer that will be delivered during the presentation. Based on expert, it can be concluded that communication anxiety is unpleasant emotion feeling that can cause anxiety and nervous for each individual of our group. Next, for empirical review. In several studies describe the reason for and the relationship between anxiety and self-efficacy. Both have a close relationship and are related to each other. In its definition, self-efficacy is an individual belief that he is able to do something in a certain situation successfully. This also related of the level of fear and doubt of person speaking in public. This anxiety is also related to the level of person self-efficacy of each of us. Next, for its method. My research is quantitative research, was conducted at a level of undergraduate education as student both student at the University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta and from other university in Indonesia. This is a cross-section survey using self-reported written question narrowed with data collection from a sample to describe the relationship between anxiety and self-efficacy. One is multiple choice. From the first question one, we can see that all respondents agree with the statement. In other words, and question two, it can seen that 54.5% of respondents agree in the opinion regarding the response of if respondent. If someone who experience anxiety should immediately go to psychiatry, however. And three, we can see that almost all respondents agree with the statement that presented in 93.9 agreed with the statement. And in question 4, it can be that all respondents agree about self-efficacy. This strengthened me even more that self-efficacy must be done immediately so that we can have good self-control. And the last question, it can be 54.9% of respondents agree with the response. However, 45.5% still disagree about the respondent. This did not prevent me from analyzing this result because I saw that many respondents agree with their choice regarding someone who has a good public speaking skill and must also have a good level of self-efficacy. And next is a Likert scale. The first question is respondent indicated that they often hear about a definition on anxiety, but not a few people who always hear the term. And the second question is respondent indicate that they often feel tremor, heart palpitation, and cold sweat when doing public speaking. With the second order, where he rarely experience these three things. In the question 3, respondent indicated that they have heard of self-efficacy, but in this case it goes hand in hand with someone who rarely hear about it. And question 4 is respondent indicated that they always feel worried when they are doing public speaking. And the last question is respondent indicate that they always need and do personal motivation before doing public speaking. This can be seen from the chart above which show that there is no one who does no need personal motivation. It is certain that motivating ourselves can strengthen our mentality when we are doing public speaking. And the discussion, this study showed that most Yogyakarta students from various universities have their perceptive of the relationship between self-efficacy and anxiety in public speaking. Their presentation of the are very diverse, ranging from those who do not understand the two relationships to those who strongly disagree about the relationship between self-efficacy and anxiety. Compared to the previous studies, this research is more of research and direct experience of study who have experienced, while external research only describe the opinion of its expert without looking for data directly on student. In other words, the research that I do is real result, so it has the right benchmark and percentage. And in conclusion, this survey that the majority of students in Yogyakarta have good knowledge of the relationship between self-efficacy and anxiety in public speaking. The majority of students understand the definition of anxiety as well as from the definition of self-efficacy and the benefit of this research. is that we can find out the self-efficacy has an important role in public speaking, where it can increase confidence in doing public speaking. This is inseparable from the attitude of self-confidence and good self-control of each person. This need to be underlined because self-efficacy is considered trivial things and in something taken from gather, where self-efficacy is part of the process where we can control ourselves well. Okay, thank you for my presentation. I'm Andhika Rajendra. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.